Set during the transition from silent to sound films in the late 1920s, Babylon is a feast for the eyes and the ears, and it's packed with some of the biggest names in Hollywood. Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie star as Jack Conrad and Nellie LaRoy, two characters who may not have existed in real life, but are still incredibly captivating and complex. Alongside them are an all-star cast of talented actors, including Diego Calva, Jean Smart,
Just of the moving pictures magic tricks.
Jovan Adepo,
Out of his way. Now you know I can't afford to get injured, Joe.
Shut the fuck up.
What?
You heard me, you whiny bitch.
Excuse me?
and Li Jun Li.
There's one pet I like to pet.
So what's the story behind Babylon? Is it based on a true story? The answer is both yes and no. While the characters and events portrayed in the film are fictional, Chazelle has taken heavy inspiration from real people who were active in Hollywood during this period. By using historical figures as a jumping-off point, Chazelle has created a world that is both authentic and captivating, while sidestepping criticisms relating to revisionisms or inaccuracies. For those who are familiar with the era, Babylon is sure to be a rich and rewarding experience. The film is a true love letter to the golden age of Hollywood, and it captures the essence of the time period in a way that is both accurate and entertaining. But even if you're not familiar with the history of Hollywood, you'll still be able to enjoy the film and its stunning cinematography, music, and performances. In many ways, Babylon is similar to Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, another epic film set during a turning point in Hollywood's history. But what sets Babylon apart is its unique vision and its perspective. Chazelle has created a world that is all his own, and it's a world that you won't want to leave. Brad Pitt's character is based on John Gilbert. The story of John Gilbert serves as the backdrop for the central character played by Brad Pitt in Damien Chazelle's latest film. Gilbert was one of the most popular actors of the silent film era, and his dramatic decline in the face of the arrival of sound films in Hollywood is a fascinating and tragic tale. Pitt's portrayal of Jack Conrad draws heavily on the real-life story of John Gilbert, who is known as the Great Lover, due to his acclaimed performances in romantic films such as The Big Parade and Flesh and the Devil. However, Gilbert's stilted line delivery and rigid demeanor were not well suited for the new era of sound films.
I've known loss. I've known pain. It's you who gives me life.
And his personal life was also marred by controversy and conflict. He was married 4 times in just 12 years, was well known for his love of alcohol, and had a reputation for being difficult to work with. There are also rumors of a conflict between Gilbert and Louis B. Mayer, the head of MGM, which contributed to the decline of Gilbert's career. Despite signing a contract with MGM in 1928 that earned him $250,000 per film, the equivalent of $4.3 million today. By the time it expired in 1933, his career was in shambles. Gilbert's final years were beset by heavy drinking, and he died in 1936 at the age of just 38. This tale of the dizzying highs and lows of the Hollywood film industry serves as the backdrop for Brad Pitt's character, Jack Conrad. The character's name is even suspiciously similar to Gilbert's original screen name, Jack Gilbert, and his womanizing nature is also reminiscent of Gilbert's personal life. While other Hollywood icons like Clark Gable and Douglas Fairbanks also make their way into the fabric of Pitt's character, the influence of John Gilbert is clear. By exploring the real-life history of John Gilbert, Damien Chazelle is able to bring authenticity to his fictional tale and offer a deeper, more enriching experience for viewers with a knowledge of this era in Hollywood history. Whether or not Jack Conrad is a true story, the influence of John Gilbert's life and legacy is undeniable. Margot Robbie's character is based loosely on Clara Bow. Margot Robbie's character, Nellie LaRoy in Babylon, is a complex and interesting figure in her own right, a fictional creation inspired by one of the most iconic and enduring actresses of the silent film era. Clara Bow, the original muse for Nellie LaRoy, was one of the most famous stars of the Roaring Twenties, and her impact on Hollywood, pop culture, and the entertainment world as a whole is undeniable.
Nada, darling, stop it, dear. Nada, darling, stop it. Stop it, Nada. Get back. Nada, darling, stop
So, let's dive into the fascinating world of Clara Bow and explore how she has inspired and shaped the character of Nellie LaRoy in Babylon. Clara Bow was born into poverty in Brooklyn, New York in 1905, and her early life was marked by hardship, abuse, and instability. Despite these challenges, she had a fierce determination and an undeniable charisma, and at the age of 16, she won a modeling competition for the magazine Brewster, which led to her being cast in her first film. Over the next few years, she appeared in a string of silent films that made her one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood. Her working-class background and carefree persona made her a hit with audiences, and she quickly gained a reputation as a fun-loving and flirtatious it girl. She personified everything that was exciting and glamorous about the Roaring Twenties, and her lifestyle reflected that image, with late-night parties, expensive cars, and wild adventures. Her fans loved her for her down-to-earth personality and sex appeal, and she quickly became one of the most sought-after actresses in Hollywood. However, her success was not without its challenges. As the Great Depression began to take hold in the 1930s, Clara Bow's image as an elitist and carefree party girl became less appealing, and she was criticized by the press for her extravagant lifestyle. Despite this, she managed to make the transition from silent films to talkies with some success, and she continued to make films throughout the 1930s, although her popularity was beginning to wane. In 1933, at the height of her fame, Clara Bow retired from acting and married fellow actor Rex Bell. She lived a quiet life for many years, but her legacy as the definitive it girl of the Roaring Twenties lived on. Her life was marked by physical and mental health problems, and she died in 1965 at the age of 60. But her impact on Hollywood, pop culture, and the entertainment world as a whole was immeasurable. Now, let's take a look at Margot Robbie's character Nellie LaRoy in Babylon. Although Nellie LaRoy was originally based on Clara Bow, her character was eventually rewritten to be more fictional. However, it's not hard to spot Bow's influence over LaRoy, from her working-class background and free-spirited screen persona to her alluring sex appeal and girl-next-door personality. Nellie LaRoy embodies many of the same qualities that made Clara Bow such a beloved and enduring icon of the silent film era. Not everyone plays a fictional character. As we delve deeper into the world of Babylon, it's important to note that not everyone in the film is a purely fictional creation. In fact, some of the characters are based on real people who had a significant impact on the world of Hollywood during the 1920s and 1930s. One such character is Irving Thalberg, played by Max Minghella. Thalberg was the head of production at MGM and was known for his innovative approach to producing films. He found a balance between artistic vision and commercial viability, which helped make MGM the most successful studio during the era of classical Hollywood. Thalberg was also responsible for creating the screen images of some of Hollywood's biggest stars, such as John Gilbert.
Do you know what I said to myself the first time I saw you? I said, there is a woman with a soul. But Sophie, you disappoint me.
And Joan Crawford. This made him an essential figure in the world of Hollywood, and director Damien Chazelle is keenly aware of his significance, as evidenced by Thalberg's prominent role in Babylon. Alongside Thalberg, other real-life figures also make appearances in the film, such as newspaper tycoon William Randolph Hearst and his mistress Marion Davies, who served as major inspirations for the classic film Citizen Kane. However, Chazelle keeps these appearances limited to cameos so as not to detract from his own fictional creations. Babylon is set to be one of the most talked about films of 2022, and it's sure to generate a lot of buzz and controversy. Whether or not it will achieve the same level of success as director Damien Chazelle's previous film La La Land remains to be seen. But with its all-star cast and talented behind-the-scenes crew, Babylon is definitely a film worth keeping an eye on. So get ready to step back in time to the glitz and glamour of 1920s Hollywood, and discover the stories of the fictional and real-life characters who helped shape the world of film as we know it today.